Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at are our elevations. We have 4 of those to put in, north, south, east, and west here. So again, I don't have a lot of details on here, but this is my north elevation. Now you notice that my topography is cut here. That's only going to happen if your section cut in your site plan is correct. So if you go to site and you select this little triangle, this would be my west elevation marker. You can move that kind of right up against your home there. So you want to check those on all 4 of your elevations. Make sure you're not clipping the roof or a set of steps or anything like that. I'm going to bring those right up against the home. And then I'll go to my north view. And then if you notice, it's showing all the ground here because I'm at 300 feet. It's showing that all the way down to 0. So I'm going to turn on my crop box and I am going to bring this all the way up. And I'm going to just kind of crop this down. And we'll bring this into here just so we can see the home and any other exterior improvements. If you put a deck and steps on, you can leave that kind of stuff. Again, later on, if these have a number in them, you'll leave them on there. If they don't, you can turn them off. I am then going to turn off this crop box here. This is my CAD drawing, and it looks like it did get it. Let me see if I can hide that in view. Nope, I grabbed the wrong thing. So we're going to go to visibility and graphic overrides here, and we're going to go to imported categories, and I'm going to turn that off and apply that so that is gone. If you want to, you can do these sheets in like shaded or something like that. That would be fine. Typically this stuff's all just done in black and white. We're not doing a render page or anything in the beginning of our packet here, so you can just leave that as is. I'm going to try to attempt to line this up here. And if you are moving these and fighting these things, if you click this, see where it says 2D here? You can move this in 2D. It won't screw up the other side. If you move it in 3D, it will move the other. When you're looking at the opposing view, it's going to move that tag. So if you're fighting that back and forth. So that looks pretty good for my north. Now I am going with, on my first floor plan, I went with 3/16 of an inch equals a foot. If you went with 1/4 inch equals a foot or 1/8 inch equals a foot, all of your elevations should match your floor plans for the same scale. Site plan's different, section views are different scales, but elevations and floor plans all need to match. So I'm going to go with the same scale. So I'm going to go to my north and I am going to change this up here to 3/16. You can also change it down here. So it's going to come on the right sheet size. And then I'll right click and go to new sheet. And we're going to grab another one there. And it's nice if you can fit 2 on here. If not, it's no big deal. You can just do 4 sheets here. We're not printing any papers out anyway. But I'll see if I can stack those in here. So there's my north. And I could probably crop a little bit more out of the bottom there. So let's go back to the north view and see what we can do. Now it's really nice if you can see your foundation stuff, but doesn't always work out here. A lot of times we have to draw those in with some hidden lines, so don't worry about that. But let's see if we can just crop that down just a little bit more. I don't want to get rid of the foundation. Bring the top down just a little bit. And maybe they'll all fit on there. So now I'm going to go over to my south view. I'm going to repeat the process. Now, if you want to leave trees in the background, that's fine. If they're covering up a bunch of your windows and things, you want to hide those. I'm just going to go ahead and hide that entire category for this. That would be something if we were doing render sheets. You would definitely do some nice pictures around the outside of your home, stuff like that. But we're kind of doing the short version here. So again, we're going to tighten this up right around the house there. Computer's a little jumpy today. So don't want to cut off that foundation level. Just go right there. Tucking it in on the sides. Don't need to see the entire topography. Just worried about the house right now. So you can kind of tuck those things in. And you can see that garage one. That's going to have to get cleaned up too. So we'll have to pull that kind of over a little bit. Not down. We'll pull that over if we can. Oh well. Still have that CAD drawing. That's that pink drawing in the middle there. So visibility and graphic overrides, imported categories, turn off your lot that you brought in. Hit OK on that. This one's ready to go. Again, I don't have a lot of detail on there. Hopefully you've got a little bit more stuff on there. I'm going to see if I can fit this on the same sheet. So I'm going to drag in my south view now. And it looks like that should fit in there. But that is at 1/8 inch scale. I did not change that. So while I'm on the sheet here, I'm going to change that to 3/16. And we'll see if we get both of them on there. It looks like we can. I will have to move my view identifier up so it identifies that north view. This one's actually off the page. I just activated my view by double clicking, so I'll deactivate that, bring us back, line that up, click the view, extend the blue line. Now, it almost looks like I can fit east and west on here. You might end up with 1 per sheet, 2 per sheet, or you might end up, with all 4. I'm not sure. So let's see what my east and west are going to look like. They look like they might be a little longer, so they may or may not fit. So again, going through the process here. Imported categories, turn off your CAD drawing, apply. Then you're going to go turn on the little crop window. You're going to tuck this down just around the home, not worried about site components at this point. So we can go through and hide that entire category. So you get rid of all your plantings. Let's bring the bottom up from 300 feet there and drop that right below foundation. Bring these guys in right against the home. I should tell you, if you mess up an elevation, you can just drop a new one in. I'll show you that in just a minute. Alright, so let's see if this is going to fit, and this will have to be set to 3/16 as well. So we'll do that now, and we'll go to our sheet, and I'm guessing this isn't going to fit, but we'll see. Let's bring in our east, I believe. Yeah, east looks like it's going to be a little bit too big there, so we'll create another sheet for east and west. So I'm going to name this as north and south elevations, and then we'll bring in another sheet. So we'll right click, new sheet, hit OK on that, and this will be east and west. And then we'll drag that in. You can only bring a sheet onto one view. Just keep that in mind. If you try to drop it on another one, you're getting a warning. That is why. The only way you can get around that is to duplicate something. So sometimes we need 2 first floor plans. We can duplicate a view with detailing, and then you can have 2 versions of that to bring on. I did mention I wanted to show you if you got rid of an elevation. So let's go over to our site view, and if you need to, under view, you can do a new elevation, and you can drop one in and it'll line up kind of with that view. So you can see kind of where that's been cut. I'm going to undo that step. Now what I do want you to see here, notice how this is A103 and it's sheet number 1. This is A104. This is view number 1. We have A103 view number 2. So if I looked at sheet A10, if I'm building this and I want to know where that view is, I would go to sheet A103 and I'd know that this is going to be view number 2, the south view, on that sheet. So that's why those call outs are so important. And then I'd go through and clean up my west view the same way, drop that on the sheet, hide some things, and then you're ready to go with elevations. Next one we'll take a look at is our section view.